Hello, fabulous fans and superstars of my dear friend Nadiya Shah. I am Yuriria Robles and I wish you a very happy 2025. Welcome to the predictions for each sign for the month of January 2025. Remember to check your sun sign and the ascendant and even your moon sign so that you have a more complete prediction. Leo, with the passage of the sun in Aquarius, you certainly will not feel very vital nor at the top of your energy. But Mars, at the beginning of the month, is still in your sign, indicating that your creative energy will be necessary later. So be patient. The month begins with a tense dialogue imposed by the Moon-Pluto conjunction in exact opposition to Mars in your sign, which means a work of action and confrontation, establishing a power struggle that proposes an interaction between your position and that of your partners and or spouse in a balanced way. You, as a leader, in addition to acting with creativity, must consider the group, seeking its intelligence and discipline to control the obsession with the new. The strength is in the dialogue. As Mars is in a period of retrograde, on the 6th it re-enters Cancer, where it touches your area where spiritual service and self-sacrifice are required, which in all honesty is not your thing, at least from the outside, because you are really capable of great achievements for the benefit of others, although you need to be recognized and preferably applauded. Mars, already in Cancer, establishes a dialogue with the Sun in Capricorn, turning attention to the goals we want to achieve in the work area, protecting what gives us security. Will lead to the discovery of hidden problems and secret opponents. This dialogue generates anxiety and tension because moving towards the achievement of goals implies leaving the past behind, and that scares us, especially on the 13th when the full moon occurs together with this Mars, strengthening the old values that made you get to where you are, and you feel that the goals and paths to improve put at risk what you have achieved. This process will extend until April, and only then will we return to the dynamic that was proposed on January the 1st, allowing leadership that is capable of moving the group towards the future with discipline and intelligence. First, you will have to work on what you fear, knowing that you have to take care of yourself, your work, especially if it is an institution. There will be a review of methods, offices, even work areas to clean up what is obsolete, full of past bureaucracy and power reserves that were formed over a long time with the passage of Pluto in Capricorn. And now the Sun with its light comes close to what is no longer viable nor useful, even if it means resistance. The fight will be strong, but the truth is that you have to look forward, not back. On the other hand, you do not have to throw away everything old, but strive to maintain what is useful, and there you could intervene. However, don't wear yourself out too much, because it really is a cleansing. Just support and cooperate. Let go of what doesn't serve you, whether it's things, situations, or people. Not because they are not worth it, but because you have to make room for the new. As Saturn rules over you and the Sun in Capricorn this month, have the discipline possible to organize your work and your health routines. You have the discipline and integrity now to know own good, and not because someone wants to control you. If you get into a power struggle with your partner, you have to know that it will last more than 20 years, unless you change the way you relate to your current partner or the other ones that follow, even with your partners, business partners, because what it is about is learning to work as a team, listening to each other and sharing your creativity for the benefit of all those involved. It is not about being right, but about agreeing on points to respect and on others to give in. Your friends have very funny ideas. Link them so that they can intercede, and through their proposals it will be easier for you to negotiate with your partner. Only on the subject of the resources that you share, if you don't listen to their opinions, be sensible and careful, because they could sell you the great investment, but it will be a fantasy. And on the other hand, do not get in trouble by diverting resources for personal ends. Be sensible and careful. Regarding Venus, it is ending the passage in Aquarius over your house of relationships. I hope it has left you with beautiful experiences, because now in Pisces, where it will remain for much longer, it will be a very important task for you. On the 3rd, it will move to Pisces, where its energy is expressed gently, imposing its logic of romance and idealism, also illusion, that is not easy for you to see. Above all, it questions your capacity for sacrifice, because for Pisces it is almost a compulsion, a fact that satisfies for itself and not for recognition. However, it happens in the house of other people's money, of processes and profound changes. So it will first meet Saturn on the 18th, showing limitations, demands, and the challenge of commitment, but at the same time establishing a harmonious dialogue with Mars, emphasizing with this love for the past, for security, and for what is established, and at the same time the love for what is new, because Uranus will impose a brief harmonious connection towards the end of the month, when on the 28th Venus reaches the degree to which it will return in its retrograde period in March and April. Then you may be presented with a fabulous scheme for investing or earning or using money that you share with your partners or spouse. And you think it can turn out spectacularly, when in reality the movement of Venus announces a strong component of illusion and even deception, disappointment and fraud. Be calm, sensible, and take good care of your decisions, which should rather be consulted with others. Acting in secret would not help you at all. On the 29th, Venus reaches Neptune in Pisces and the North Node, also entering the Sun. So all this means a great idealization, a longing for love, and a desire for recognition that surpasses all that is imagined. On the non-coherent side, it means a great sacrifice and detachment from reality. This movement to Pisces is emphasized by the North Node that will remain in this sign for 18 months, with its counterpart, the South Node in Virgo, which indicates that it must be adjusted by analysis and by a deep feeling of service. This change affects relationships that insatiably will seek this idealization that is natural to the North Node in Pisces, but it will be considerably increased Venus-Neptune conjunction. The objective of this configuration is to reestablish faith in love and in the ideal, but it brings the stamp of impatience because it goes towards an inferior conjunction of Venus and will end in a long conjunction with Saturn, which is where it began, bringing love or economic adventures to reality. Growth and order are configured by Jupiter in Gemini, which is in the area of your friends, your wider social circles of acquisitions and groups, which awaken in you precisely greater ambitions and hopes, with Saturn in Pisces in the area of money that you share with your partner and associates. This supposes a conflict of possibilities. The dilemma is to change or continue as you are. But as Mars in Cancer is emphasizing security and attachment to the past, and Pluto imposes its orientation towards the future, it makes the choice even more tense and complex. The dilemma is to take a risk or deny an opportunity. Reconciling this is the work. This is a process that will be in effect until mid-year. The full moon on the 13th emphasizes the decision-making process between the old and the new. Leaving the comfort zone requires courage and knowing how to adapt to the unknown. The old will be idealized because Neptune is lifting the veil of the ideal of the past and Pluto supports this mirage, but at the same time we are tempted by the new, due to the harmonious dialogue with Uranus at this time. In addition, we feel the confrontation of the wound of the past with the rebellion to come to an agreement. In no way are we willing to give in on anything. Also, Venus at this time, together with Saturn, cooperates in the tense dialogue with Jupiter that proposes an excess of communication, ideas, with multiple voices and proposals that cause the dispersion, and yet the resolution of this conflict would make us win with the future. The full moon on the 13th emphasizes the work of review and reconsideration in the work area. But in personal work, it means recognizing how much you cling to things for security. Now you will have the imagination and the ability to see what is really valuable for you and your partner. Only then will you be able to undertake the internal cleansing that will lead you to feel freer and more creative in the future. Find the essential motivation you need to move forward, working on yourself. This is also useful. As for the new moon on the 29th, it will be present the new relationship scheme that you must follow. It is not about having an audience, but about forming a team with the other, giving up the microphone and the stage from now on so that it's truly a couple. Otherwise, as I was saying, the power struggle will be fierce and above all, useless. Dislocation in your opposite sign, Aquarius, preceded by Pluto and Mercury, brings fascination and a taste for the new in your partners and couples. In addition, Jupiter at this time brings a harmonious dialogue to introduce with its enthusiasm and multiple ideas, inciting towards the new and technology. In addition, the North Node promises an ideal, a utopia, if you will, and at this moment, the position of Mars in relation to Saturn seems to show agreements on what is worth preserving and what is not. This last planet is the ruler of delineation, and its position in Pisces, it brings us an effort to accept that it is possible to order the imagined reality. At times, what we imagine will be too big, and we will still suffer from the excesses of Pisces anyway, but we will seek to achieve an improvement. The essential challenge to overcome is to accept the wound, forgive in order to move on, and force yourself to negotiate, being honest with those with whom it is truly necessary. Only in this way will we be able to overcome resentment, anger, and paralysis. This contradiction between the planets grouping in Pisces and those in Aquarius makes it difficult for us to act. On the one hand, it awakens rebellion, and on the other, the wound of acting at the wrong time or without success. The main thing in terms of relationships is to accept that we must communicate without falling into dramas, manipulations, or victimization. But the obligation now and for 18 months is to understand feelings, our own and those of others. Analysis will not be in fashion, but we must nevertheless make an effort to take them into account. The path to resolution of all this is long and goes in this direction. First, let us give space to the new, asking ourselves what we want to free ourselves from. Then, let us review what is truly valuable, inspires us, and has a special value in the heart. Let us make the decision to act with discipline, and then let us remember our purposes and goals. It is with all this that we understand that changing is for our own good. Neither foolishness nor dramas helps us at this time. To end the month, the emphasis is on Aquarius. It helps us to be intelligent, but let us remember that we are beginning to reevaluate intelligence. However high it may be, it cannot isolate us through arrogance. It is rather to teach to communicate us with others, to suggest new paths and solutions, not to impose them by force, even if it is Pluto. Let us choose the path of transformation. Let us avoid the path of imposition. Let's do it.